Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen, guys, bringing you your team every single day. This is the channel to come to if you want to find out all the daily details on Glasgow Rangers, all the latest news, all the latest gossip, transfer rumours, podcast, live streams, everything, guys, all for free. Just hit that sub, ring that notification bell, set it to all. And if you can give this video a like, guys, I would appreciate it. Obviously, we've also got a membership scheme as well. You can hit the join down below. Here are our fantastic members at this moment in time. We have 11. A scheme only launched yesterday. Thank you to all those people mentioned there on that screen there. Okay, let's talk Borna Barisic. Let's talk Croatian international Borna Barisic. Now, those of you who don't know, Borna is currently off with Croatia, preparing for the Nations Cup semi-final that Croatia are in against Holland, which is upcoming very soon indeed. And we wish Borna and his Croatian teammates all the very best, as we would always get behind our players no matter where they go. Now, obviously, Borna is entering the final year of his contract. His contract is up in summer 2024, so he has 1 year left. And like I've said on a number of videos, we do not want to be sat in the position that we were sat this year, where we've got players out of contract, ready to walk for absolutely nothing. For free, for nada, for zero. Arfield, gone. Morelos, Kent, Helander, Alan McGregor, obviously, he's going to retire, I think, so that's probably not as bad. But Morelos and Kent, we could have got a lot of money for those two guys. Helander, if fit, probably could have got a bit of money for him. Arfield as well. You know, all players we could have raised a bit of cash for, I think, if they'd been under contract and we'd let them go this summer. But with the news, obviously, that Borna is out of contract, there's been a lot of talk and discussion and rumour as regards Borna's future and where his future might lie. Now, Borna Barisic is someone who seems to, I don't know, seems like a lot of topics to do with Glasgow Rangers, seems to divide opinion. There are those of them, those Rangers fans who think that Borna is a class act, that he is a quality left back. And, you know, certainly going back to the 55 season, he was very good indeed. There's others that think that he, you know, doesn't turn up against that lot from across the city, makes mistakes, doesn't close down enough crosses, and is only really there because of his crosses into the box. That's what I'm just reporting, what I've heard from Rangers fans. However, there are currently discussions around a new deal for Borna Barisic, which does seem to fly in the face of what was being suggested earlier this season and this summer, where it was suggested that Borna would be moved on, given the rising prominence of Turkish left-back Rıdvan Yilmaz. Now, Borna Barisic, who in his career has made 124 appearances for Rangers, scoring 4 goals, most notable, though, for his assists and his, obviously, his defensive ability. Last season in the SPL, he had 30 appearances, 1 goal and 9 assists, 10 goal contributions in 30 games. Not bad for a left back. 1 in 3. That's pretty good for someone who plays left back. Obviously, like I said, more renowned for those big booming crosses in on that left foot. Now, Borna has been having his say as regards this new deal that Rangers are reportedly discussing with him. Now, like I said, many people thought that he would be off this summer, given the fact that his wife has just given birth to their first child, and there was a likelihood that he may return to the continent of Europe or somewhere closer to Croatia, or even back to Croatia. This is what Borna has had to say. So Borna said, I have a contract with Rangers for 1 more year. I have started negotiations with the club. I don't want to say anything because you never know in football. So it's clear that, like as was reported on this channel, that Michael Beale was due for talks with Borna Barisic. Those talks have already begun. Now, Borna is under contract for next season. We know that. And obviously, it is exceptionally important, I believe, to have strength in depth at all positions. Now, obviously, if we have Rıdvan and Borna at left back, that does give us excellent strength in depth, along with the fact, obviously, that Adam Devine and Dujon Sterling can also play left back as well. Now, what is interesting there is the fact that he says, I have started negotiations with the club. Now, he's not really clear, is he, on whether that is for over a new contract or whether or not that is on a move away from the club. Reading between the lines and looking at what the context of this conversation is, I would say it's more around negotiating an extension for Borna. That's what I think it could well be. But like he says, he doesn't want to say that because he doesn't know. In football, there's always that uncertainty, isn't it? You can think the players are going to stay and then they don't. I mean, certainly there was a lot of conversation after Ryan Jack signed his new contract, that after Michael Beale had said that 2 from that list had been offered deals, that the other one was Scott Arfield. That certainly seemed to be the conversation that was going round at the time. However, it now seems that that was obviously not the case. As to who that second person was, it looks like it was probably Kieran Wright, given the fact that he has signed that new contract. Borna went on to say this. I have a great relationship with everyone at the club and we will find the best solution. There's always speculation about my future. It reaches me, but little of it is true. So it's interesting there that he's kind of rebuffing those suggestions. And given the fact that most of the gossip has been around him leaving the club and walking away from the club and being sold this summer, it seems that that is not true from what Borna is saying. Or are we putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5? Certainly, you know, this outlining of this great relationship he has with people, including with Michael Beale at the club. You know, Beale was obviously here with Gerrard during the 55 season where Borna was a key part. Now, Borna went on to say this. I missed 3 games at the end of the season. I had a quadriceps injury. It wasn't terrible, but we didn't want to risk it. The last time I played, it was for about 25 minutes. So yes, Borna came on, obviously, as a substitute. Now, you know, that injury certainly obviously hampered Borna's progress, but certainly gave Ridvan an opportunity to impress. So it looks along the lines of, from what you kind of look, I don't know for a fact. I haven't got an inside track on the club. Unfortunately, I would love to get in with the club. I'd love to be able to interview players, talk to management, talk to James Bisgrove, talk to the people in the know. But at this moment in time, the channel is obviously still growing. We haven't got that yet. But it does look, from what Borna is saying, as if Borna is intending to stay at Rangers and that he will be offered a new contract with the club. Now, what I'd love to know is, what do you think of that? Is it good that we are obviously looking to secure Borna's future? You know, yes, like I've said, it is important, I think, to make sure that players don't walk for free. You know, are we extending that deal, perhaps get another season out of him and then sell him on? What is the intention here, do you think, with Borna Barisic? Now, look, I get totally the fact that, you know, people want a big change at the club. They wanted to have a changeover in players, given the last couple of seasons, obviously since 55, very little success. The Scottish Cup win, obviously, is in there. But, you know, failures in the league, failures in Europe. Obviously, you know, the Europa League run, which went very well indeed. But, you know, obviously ultimately didn't end in winning the UEFA Cup. But whilst there is a need for change, you cannot, this is an old saying that's been used many times, throw the baby out with the bathwater. You cannot chuck the entire squad out. We just don't have the finances or the resources to do that at this moment in time. And whilst, you know, people may not want players like Lundstrom and Barisic to say, there is, I think, a need to keep these players at the club, at least for next season, whilst we build around them and build above them, and have them as options as squad players. They then can be moved on perhaps next summer. You know, if we do give them a new contract, say a 2-year contract, whatever, then you're putting in a position where you can sell them for money next summer and not lose them on a free. Well, that's my opinion anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, guys. And if you've enjoyed the content, go back and check out some of the other videos, and please hit that sub, ring that notification bell. And if you can give the video a like, guys, I would really appreciate it. So let me know what you think. And guys, I'll be back to speak to you again very, very soon here on Glasgow Rangers Nation. And remember always, we are the people.